Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to our weekly ACO Designer Chat. My name is Mia Farrell. I am here to discuss all things design with you every Friday at 2:30. I'm currently standing outside of our showroom. It's gotten busy here, you guys. We've got a lot of traffic, lots of people working on projects, and there's currently some people inside the showroom working on their kitchen design. And so I don't want to disturb them. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up of what I'm about to show you. I think that during quarantine, a lot of people have been talking about how frustrated they are with clutter in their home. So I've got a very special guest today. Her name is Lisa Eckerle, and she is with Sort Support. And she's going to talk to us today a little bit about how to keep your kitchen organized. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Mia, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Doing well. Just standing in my kitchen.
That's great.
Every afternoon.
Well, thanks so much for being with us today. Tell us a little bit about Sort Support.
Yeah, so I am a professional organizer. I really strive to help everyone find their functionality with flair in their home to give them freedom to live the life of their organized dreams.
I love that. That's fantastic. I think that you have a lot of things that you want to discuss. I'm going to take us on a little tour into the showroom. I'm going to flip my camera around. I'm going to mute myself and just kind of let you run with all of the things that we need to know about keeping our kitchens organized.
Can you walk like as if you're giving a college tour where you're like, come with me?
I don't know if I can do the whole backwards walk, but
totally get it.
We might end up tumbling to the ground if I try to do that.
All right, I'll walk you through it. So where Mia is headed to first, she is going to show the average kitchen drawer that we all have in our house. So most of us just leave a drawer. We put our stuff in it. It can get a little cluttered. You can find stuff just on top of each other. Most of the time you can't find stuff at all. So you make it a hodgepodge. You're constantly really going around in there and searching for what you need. And in the meantime, you burn macaroni and cheese like I have done in the past. I'm an organizer, not a cook. So here is what you can do is get your own drawer dividers. There's actually built-in ones that I know ACO actually does on their own. If you want to show those for me, Shane. Oh, there. Just kidding. Mia has it. So you can get your own built-in dividers, which are fantastic because then you have your zones already created for you. You can also get dividers like this that come in many different sizes and really customize it to what you need in your own drawer, which is what I did for a client. If you could show that picture, please. There you go. So this client in particular, it's a drawer full of fruit and vegetable stuff. Who doesn't love that this time of year? So you really made it its own by placing everything in the size that it needed. So I highly recommend that really for every drawer you have, so you're not constantly having to shuffle around for things. Next, Mia is going to show you a very cool feature that ACO has. It's a pull-out utensil crock and knife holder. So this is a way completely to get that clutter off your kitchen counter. A lot of people have this. You really want all of that close to your stove. Asterisk, ACO doesn't have a stove in there. There we go, close to your stove. So you want these items close to your stove that you really use while cooking. So there's your salt and pepper, your extra virgin olive oil. If you don't have the ability to have that built-in crock, a lot of people have the pull-out spice cabinet, what Mia is showing you right now. So some people don't like this because you have to reach down deep to get the spices. Your spices aren't that tall. You have to kind of redo the labels to be on the top. So what you could do, instead of having the built-in crock holder, you can make your own and just put your crock inside of that. That way you can access it just as easily. It's not on your counter. And your kids aren't going in there and grabbing all the spices and dumping them on your floor. Heard from a friend. So next, speaking of kids, let's go down below. So Mia's going to turn and show you another built-in drawer option that has deep dividers. So I really encourage everyone who has kids to find a drawer find a pullout, find a cabinet, something down low where your kids can grab their own stuff. When we did this in our house, it was a game changer because all of a sudden the kids were excited for dinner, excited for helping out. They wanted to pick out their own plates. They wanted to set the table, actually. It was amazing. So you can see in the next photo, one that I had put together. So if you, again, don't have the built-ins, you can create your own. So here's where I put all of their plates, their bowls, and their sippy cups. And these are just clear, deep bins that you can get Amazon, the Container Store, you name it. Next is the pantry. So a lot of people may not have a walk-in pantry, a reach-in pantry, like a dedicated closet for a pantry. But I bet you have a cabinet that you can turn into a pantry. So Eckerle has this really great, deep cabinet as Mia gets her arm lost in there amongst the, yeah. Anybody want a gray cabinet face? So how do you deal with deep cabinets? Because you're going to get stuff lost in the back, or you're going to feel like you're not really taking advantage of all this space. It's just going to feel like a black hole at times, especially when you go up high on those shelves. So one thing that I recommend, especially with that wide of a cabinet, is a big old Lazy Susan. This one is huge, it's 18 inches, but it really takes up that entire depth. And that way you can spin it and get stuff in the back to the front without any manual labor of your own, having to get a step stool or having to wonder what expired back there 8 months ago. Another way to deal with the depth is to do deep bins. So these are 16 inches deep. So you put it in like this. Yes, put it in like this. And then your own drawers, basically, because these just slide out. You can easily get to the stuff in the back and you create your own drawers. Another option is to do smaller Lazy Susans. So what you're showing, or what you're seeing here in this picture, is a way to also combat corners. Corners can be tricky because you're like overlapping stuff. You can't really pull something out. This is a great way to deal with that corner. So some other go-to pantry cabinet items is a can riser. These are great because then you can see everything you have. Again, you can reach for it without 8 cans toppling down on your head. And you really, I even color coordinated this one. Feel free to do that if you wish. Tag me in every photo. You can really get what you need when you need it, and you can see what you have. Another
that's awesome. I love a can riser. I think that, even in just a typical kitchen cabinet, it helps a ton. You were talking a little bit ago about deep cabinets and how it can be really helpful to use accessories in deep cabinets because you can't get to the back. But even in just a regular 12-inch deep upper cabinet, having those can risers in there, you can see everything, and then you don't end up with spices that, expired in 2005.
Exactly. Or the whole marinara sauce toppled down on your floor.
Right.
Yeah, and it's also the biggest thing that I say for everybody is to measure. So you really want to watch with this can riser as you put something. I mean, you can see in the back here is that ranch dressing, which takes up a lot of space. So make sure that you're considering the top of the riser and the top of what you want to put on it, that it fits where you want it to fit. But yeah, it's a display of art. I mean, come on. So next, I recommend this no matter where your pantry is or what your kitchen setup is to have a backstop area. Some people have no idea what I'm talking about. This is really, so Doritos and popcorn go quickly in our house. You probably already have both of those items already open somewhere. So instead of shoving the open container and the next container, because you cannot have 1 minute without a Dorito in the house, you put a backstock area. I like to put it down below so you can kind of just at a quick glance see what you have there. And it's like your batter up area, really. So as soon as something is gone, you reach down there and you replace it. And then when it's time to do your grocery list, you can just do a quick check, what's down there, what isn't, and now I know what I need to get next.
Doritos on deck. I love it.
That's like the MLB. There's slogan or something.
Right.
Next, airtight containers. So these help your staple items really stay without bugs in them, if we want to get gross about it. Yeah, get real. I recommend airtight containers for things that you're reaching for most often, and you don't want to have to deal with the cardboard box all the time, and you don't want to have to get a clip to close it, make sure nothing gets in there, and all of that. So this helps with the stuff that you're using most often and the stuff that goes stale more often.
Yeah, and those bags are always hard to store.
And messy.
I swear, flour and powdered sugar always just end up everywhere no matter what. It's like glitter.
Yeah, and we use ours for, we use cereal containers. That's a very popular one in this kind of regard. So the kids can pour their own cereal without having to mess with all of the packaging. We put goldfish in ours because it's eaten like cereal. And I highly recommend crackers in them too. It's kind of nice because you can just put the sleeves in there and not, again, have to worry about all of the packaging.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the key to everything is label, label, label. So you can see this is kind of a fancy label. You can have fun with labels. I think this is an important one these days. Is a little reminder every time you reach for your snack. But you don't have to always use like the Cricut fancy labels. This was just a chalk marker, so it can be erased when you decide you don't want to be kind anymore. I don't know.
It's like a different snack now. And
yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, exactly. So then that brings us to the full pantry reveal with all of these tips kind of being put in place.
All together. Yes, I love all these pantry tips. They are so fantastic. You know, you've mentioned a lot about, well, you know, in some of these drawers we have built-in dividers. We can do rollout trays in pantries. We can do any number of things to help organize. But in the meantime, before you tackle that kitchen remodel, all of these tips from Lisa can be really good ways to keep everything neat and organized in your home. I mean, think about how efficient you'd be if that was your pantry. I mean, it's fantastic. It's also adorable. I love it.
Yeah, it gives you, see, it even inspires people like me, like I said, not a cook, to at least go in and get the ingredients for my husband.
Right.
I'm helpful.
Perfect. Yeah. I love it. Well, I think that I saw some of the social handles flashing at the bottom, so we know where to follow you on Instagram, on Facebook, so we can see more of that organized life content. We are here for it.
Yay! I'm here for it all day.
Thanks so much for being here with us today, Lisa. We really appreciate it, and really appreciate all of the tips in helping us get our lives organized. And you can call Lisa anytime to help get you organized, and you can call me anytime to help you love where you live. Lisa and I can work together to make it happen.
I love it.
Thanks so much, guys. Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend.
Bye. You too.